If you're waiting for the game to give you confidence, then you're going to be waiting forever because the game doesn't give you confidence. It only exposes what you already have. All right? And most athletes get this backwards. They think to themselves, once I play good, then I feel confident. But sports psychology actually shows the opposite. Confidence predicts performance, not the other way around. That's why when you walk into a game unconfident, you always walk out feeling the same way. Then you go from game to game chasing confidence and still wondering why nothing is changing. That's what today's video is about, and I'm going to break it all down, why and how that works. Now, first things first, the game is a mirror. If you enter the game filled with doubt, the game will reflect that uncertainty right back at you. Waiting to play good before you feel good simply doesn't work. And of course, I'm going to break it down. Let's get right to it. First point, confidence is the cause, not the effect. Most athletes think, once I hit shots, then I feel confident. Understand that confidence will forever be the cause and never the effect, because if you enter with a lack of confidence, the game will only magnify it. I need you to come to the understanding that confidence is the cause, not the effect, and it will forever and always be like that. Because what you're implying is when you say I'll wait for the game to give me confidence, is that you have no confidence or a lack of confidence, right? And if you have no confidence or a lack of confidence, how do you think you're going to play? Like shit. And your performance and your results will obviously reflect that. Until you change the cause, the effect will always be the same. You have to come in with confidence if they want your effect to be confidence or the results to reflect back confidence, right? And your performance in order to play well, right? Because the game will only magnify what you walk in with. So if you come in unconfident, that's why you walk out the game even more unconfident than you walked out with or walked in with, and vice versa, right? And so this is you. You guys are stuck in a loop. You wait for confidence and then you play poorly. Then you wait for confidence again and you play poorly again. You're just stuck in a loop. Until you change the cause, the effect will always be the same, right? Now, let me give you guys an analogy. Think of it like a mirror. The principle, a mirror only shows what you bring to it. If you stand in front of it unhappy, that's all you'll see reflected back. And this is how it affects your performance. The game operates on the same principle. If you enter with hesitation, it will reflect that uncertainty and hesitation right back to you. So, I want you to think of the game as essentially a reflection of you. So if you're unconfident, the game will reflect back unconfident results, right? So until you change yourself, the game won't change. When you change the game will change. And more specifically, you have to be confident so the game will reflect back confident results to you. Because like I explained in the past slide, you have to come into the game with confidence to reflect back confident results, right? And I use the mirror, for example, because when you walk into a mirror, it does everything that you do. You smile, the mirror smiles. You move your hand, the mirror moves its hand, right? And essentially what you guys are doing is you guys are standing in front of the mirror all frown face, and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm going to wait for the mirror to smile back at me to feel confident. First off, that's scary as hell and also literally impossible. You have to smile before the mirror does. You have to become confident before the game gives you confidence. All right? Keep that in mind. Now, my next point, you can't sit in two chairs. Picture two chairs, one labeled wanting confidence and one labeled having confidence. If you sit in wanting, you stay stuck waiting for the game to hand it to you. But when you sit in having, you embody before the game even starts. I actually learned this concept from my guy Neural Knowledge, and it fits you guys perfectly. The concept of not being able to sit in two chairs. Because there's two chairs, a chair of wanting and a chair of having. And like you can't sit in two chairs at once. You either want or you have, right? And most of you guys right now are sitting in the chair of wanting. And when you want something, that implies you have a lack of something. And in this case specifically, a lack of confidence. And like I explained in my last 2 points, if you go into the game with a lack of confidence, you're going to come out with a lack of results, right? So until you get up and sit in the chair of having, your results will always be the same. Because if you have confidence, you're going to come out the game with even more confidence because you can only have what you already have. If you have confidence, you're going to have results that reflect back confidence, right? You have to give it to yourself before the game gives it to you. And that's the only way it's going to work, right? Because you can't sit in the chair of wanting and then have results, right? It just doesn't make sense. Like I just explained in the last 2 points. You can't go into the game unconfident and expect back a triple double or 5 home runs. It doesn't work like that. Like just logically and just common sense wise, it just doesn't work, right? So you already have to come into the game embodying that state of confidence because you can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. I had to say that again, all right? Which brings me to my next point. You already have what you bring. Confidence isn't built in the middle of the game. It's the state you've already chosen to carry in. The game doesn't create your mental state. It reveals what you've already decided to embody. Your confidence level is determined before you ever step onto the field. Now, confidence is the identity you pack ahead of time. You make the conscious choice. You don't play your way into being confident. You become a confident player first, and then your game follows. It's an identity you consciously choose and carry with you. Identity is so important because whatever identity that you have before the game starts is the one that it's going to default to during the game, right? So if you have the identity of I don't believe in myself, your results will essentially reflect that you don't believe in yourself, despite all the hard work and all the hard training that you've done, right? It doesn't matter. If you don't believe in yourself, that's how you're going to play. Like you don't believe in yourself, and you make that conscious choice. So who are you going to be? Are you going to be confident or are you going to be unconfident? Right? And like I said, we're going to touch on that later in the video. But think of it like packing a bag. You don't show up at the airport hoping clothes magically appear in your suitcase. You bring what you packed. Right? Your logic is, it's like you want to go to the game unconfident and just hope confidence just shows up out of fucking thin air. It's not going to work like that. Right? And it's like showing up to the airport. You pack a bag with no clothes in it. Clothes are not just going to magically fucking appear. Unless you're like in Harry Potter fucking world. It's just not going to happen. Right? And this is how it happens on the game. Game day is the same. If you didn't pack confidence before the game can't give it to you. It merely reveals what you brought with you. Like I said, the game will only give you what you already have because you can only have what you already have. You have to give it to yourself first before the game gives it to you. I need that to stick with you in your head. Now, confidence doesn't come out of thin air, by the way. Doubt shows up when you expect confidence to magically appear under pressure. But true confidence only comes from what you've already built, your preparation, your mindset, and the identity you've chosen to step into. Like I said, confidence doesn't come out of thin air. You got to do something. Like you can't just sit on the couch all day and expect to play basketball like LeBron, right? It just doesn't make sense. And honestly, most of you watching this video do put in that work. You do train hard. But for some reason, you just still don't feel confident. But because it's your mindset. You overlook the mindset part of confidence and you build that through the inner work, right? And honestly, what this whole channel is about. And this is important because your body will always follow the mind. Your body will always follow the mind. So if your mind is weak, your body will feel weak, which is why you can train as hard as you want. But if mentally you're not there, you're still going to play like trash. And I actually have a whole video on that. And I will put that video in the description. All right. And essentially, what you have to do is you have to work on your mindset too. Because until you align your mind or your body with your mind, you'll always feel out of sync. You'll always feel out of alignment, right? Which is what I'm sure you're probably feeling right now. It doesn't feel like you're playing at the level you know you're capable of playing, right? But like I said, I have a whole video on that and I'll put it in the description. Last thing on confidence. Confidence can be borrowed. You can't wait for a teammate to hype you up, for the crowd to give you energy, or for the game to hand you belief. If it's not already yours, nothing external can make it stick. True confidence is created internally before the whistle ever blows. Your confidence can't be dependent on any external factors whatsoever. Because if those external factors are gone, so is your confidence. Your confidence needs to be so strong internally, so independent that no matter what happens or just whatever happens, you're still confident. Like if you have a bad game or make a bad play, you're still confident in your ability to go crazy the next game, right? Like Steph Curry, for example, he can miss 10 shots in a row, but he's so confident in himself and his ability that he can make the next 10. Like those 10 shots didn't affect him. And that's what I need you to realize and I need you to be. Right? You need to be so strong, build roots so strong internally within yourself that no storm, no bad game, nothing outside of you can shake you. All right? And that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do. I'm going to show you how to change what you bring. I'm going to show you how to bring confidence into the game. All right? If the game only reflects what you bring and confidence must precede performance, then the essential next step is to actively change what you carry with you. This isn't about fake confidence. It's about the conscious choice and genuine transformation of your internal experience. Now, if you're a high-level athlete watching this that struggles with anything that I've talked about so far or struggle with performance anxiety in general and want to work with me one-on-one, then click the link in the description below. I feel like I can help you and I would love to have you. Now, this is how you do it. You have to change your identity. I'm closing that loop I made earlier. Identity is simply the sum of your repeated thoughts, your actions, and your feelings. If those are filled with doubt, that's what you'll carry into every game. But if you start thinking, acting, and feeling like the confident version of you ahead of time, then confidence becomes the identity that you bring. And the game has no choice but to reflect it back. Bang. Right? Now, Like I explained earlier, when you go into the game, your mind will default to your strongest identity. And your identity is a culmination of your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings. More specifically, the thoughts, actions, and feelings that you repeat on a daily basis. And in your case, if you're watching this video, the thoughts, actions, and feelings you've been repeating are thoughts, actions, and feelings that reflect unconfidence, right? You have to change these thoughts, actions, and feelings to confidence so you can perform confidently within the game, right? And I actually have a whole video on this, on how to change your identity. And I go super deep, pause, and very in depth, which is why I'm not going to go too deep here. So if you guys want to watch that, go watch that video. I'll leave the link in the description below. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one.